There's nothing dramatic or dangerous about opening a can of fruit or putting the weekend roast into the oven. Among the many things we take for granted are refrigerators. Most homes have them. And people who work in stores, shops and factories regard the rows of steel shelves and bins as commonplace. Things like steel sinks, gleaming metal saucepans, and the many other articles made of metal to raise our standard of living are things we accept as everyday needs. They're there like the urn at the office and the electric range at home. But the manufacture of metal articles is complex and potentially dangerous. Modern machinery, ingeniously designed and working with amazing precision, is employed at all stages of manufacture. The everyday articles we take for granted have felt the impact of power presses, guillotines and bending brakes, and other machines which are employed in making them. And because all human beings can and do become careless now and again, we must safeguard ourselves against accident. Care is a safeguard, but there are others much more dependable. Fixed guards are the best means of preventing machine accidents. An accident is an event which, in your case, could have been avoided. An accident causes pain and suffering, may cause permanent disability, causes loss of production, causes financial loss. An accident need not happen. Metalworking starts with the bringing in of sheet metal of the appropriate size and gauge. Even at this point, care is necessary. Stand clear of the load. Give warning to others in the vicinity. If it drops, you or someone else could get hurt. So from the very beginning, care should be your watchword. In the normal sequence, metal is first cut to size. Here is a guillotine which can slice through metal as easily as a knife goes through butter. But it cannot distinguish between a sheet of metal and your fingers. It will cut up either with equal ease. Many a man has learned that lesson the hard way on an unguarded machine. Effective guards are required by the law of the state. It seems incredible that a machine like this should ever be used without protection for the operator, when a fixed guard like this can be so simply applied. We humans have our weaknesses. One of them is to relax our care sometimes, and this fixed guard will protect you against the consequences of a moment's carelessness. Your hand simply cannot reach the dangerous shear edge, and the guard can be adjusted to accommodate buckled sheets. Fixed guards are of varying kinds, designed not only for protection, but for suitability to the work in hand. This one, for example, provides vertical slots for observation of the work. In this machine, horizontal slots are provided, as well as a rigid bar in front of them. The man who is feeding the work does so in safety because the guillotine is properly equipped with fixed guards correctly designed to protect him. Notice how impossible it is for his fingers to reach the shear edge. Without the protection of the fixed guard, it would be exceedingly easy for the operator during many hours of such work to relax his vigilance long enough for an accident to occur. But the guard makes it impossible for his fingers to be injured. No amount of maneuvering will enable him to get them into a hazardous position. The simple and obvious procedure of installing an adequate guard makes an accident impossible. Remember, an accident need not happen. A guillotine can be dangerous at the back as well. Here is an example of a properly guarded guillotine at the back where fixed guards prevent access to its danger area. As the shear blade makes its cut, off-cut material slides down an inclined plane to floor level, where it can be gathered up without any risk. In some situations, work is handled from the back as well as the front of a guillotine. Here, an operator feeding work from the back is protected from accident by properly designed guards which make it impossible for him to get close enough to the machine for it to injure him. These guards do not handicap his movements in the least. To some extent, they actually increase his efficiency because he can work without fear of an accident. This is an excellent example of accident prevention planning. Here is another machine, the bending brake, which is used extensively in forming metal. This one is typical, and in this unguarded condition represents a very real hazard to a man who uses it. Apart from the accidental putting in of one of his fingers or hand, a slip or stumble might throw him against the moving parts, and such an accident would be particularly shocking. Here is a similar machine which is equipped with proper guards. There is no risk to these operators. This guard removes risk of an accident due to inattention of either operator. It is automatic in action. The automatic operation of the guard is seen here. The operatives feed the work with a complete assurance of safety, and this procedure goes on continuously. It is easy to realize that interruption to such an operation as this, caused by an accident, could create a work hold-up and consequent loss of production right along the line. Access to the back of this bending brake cannot be obtained whilst it is in operation. This hazardous area is totally enclosed, and until the gate is closed and secured with this foolproof catch, the machine will not operate. The automatic guard, as applied to a bending brake, is seen to advantage on this machine. The operator makes a double bend on all four sides of a steel plate, relying on the automatic guard to ensure his safety. Should his fingers go beyond the limit of safety, the descending guard automatically stops the machine and no harm comes to him. The sensitivity of the machine is evident from its immediate resumption of operation as soon as the guard is freed of the obstacle which stopped it. Another machine used in the metalworking industry is a power press. This one is set up for automatic operation. Although automatic in operation, requiring no operator, guards must be provided for the dangerous parts to prevent any person from risk of accident. This press is set up for a punching operation and is fed by hand. It presents no danger to its operator so long as its fixed guards are in position. But without guards, it would be a very real danger. Those dies would mutilate fingers in a second. Remember this. Then remember this, too. Here, an operator is feeding blanks to the same machine in perfect safety. But without those guards in position, this method of feeding would be especially risky. It would be far too easy to put his fingers into the danger zone. It is essential for employer as well as employee to realize the hazards connected with such machines as these. The employer should ensure that machines are fitted with guards that securely fence the dangerous parts. Such guards, while safeguarding the operator, allow material to be fed into the die and allow adequate vision at the same time. Fixed guards should always be used where practicable, but in some cases, where forming operations such as this are being performed, guards of the interlocking type may be used. This is a typical example. To place the work on the die, the operator raises the guard and in doing so causes the interlocking block to slide between the machine frame and the clutch. This prevents the machine from operating whilst his hands are on the danger area. When he lowers the guard, the interlock is released, allowing the clutch to engage and the machine to operate. This type of guard cannot be raised whilst the machine is in motion. With the guard removed from this machine, the operation of the dies can be seen and it is easy to realize the danger. The grinder is also extensively used in the metal industry. The simplicity of the grinding operation makes it easy to forget that certain simple precautions must be taken when using such a machine. It also has a danger potential, and so simple an operation as grinding a chisel can be risky. This man is doing just that, grinding a chisel. He is relaxed and confident, but he will encounter trouble. The angle of the chisel to wheel edge rises by a very little, but it's enough to jam. The wheel breaks and stops. The chisel flies out. A broken wheel may not be unduly important or expensive, but had it not been for the guard enclosing the wheel, this operator could have been seriously injured. Remember, always use that eye protection shield. To use a grinder, you must avoid having the work rest at an angle. It should be horizontal and as close to the grinding surface as possible while allowing the free rotation of the wheel. It should be in the same plane as a line through the center of the wheel. Remember those 3 points: work rest at center of wheel, horizontal, and close to the grinding surface. This grinding machine is fitted with a guard fabricated in mild steel. It consists of a peripheral guard to which side sheets are attached, also enclosing the spindle nut. The transparent eye shield of shatterproof glass is in position, and the rest is correctly adjusted to the face of the wheel. Grinding wheels are marked to show the speed at which they are tested, and also the maximum operating speed in revolutions per minute. Never operate a grinding wheel in excess of this speed. Metal articles made and formed by these machines, with human skill and ingenuity, provide modern living requirements. All this can be achieved safely without injury or disablement to those workers engaged in this industry. Your workplace can be made safe by the cooperation of employer and employee. Let us all cooperate to achieve safety in industry.